I've not even begun to show you the depth and scope of the animals we personally saw in this wonderful country. As you can see, the list of animals is extensive and the numbers staggering. Rudyard Kipling talked of the lure of Africa. It tempts you, it grabs you, and it won't let go. Its animals are treasures that endure despite illegal poaching and climatic changes and ever-increasing pressure from domestic grazing animals. It's a treasure the nation is struggling to protect. As we left the wilds behind, our journey was not quite over. A highlight of all Ode Adventures is that visit to a local school and the interaction with its students.
Have a seat. Let us allow you to introduce yourself.
I am Pat from New Hampshire, way in the north of the United States. I am a teacher and a minister, and I'm retired.
My name is Jim O'Mara, and like Ron, I am a retired university professor.
Na yeye ni kama nani alisema? Professor retired one, okay?
Overseas adventure travel has an educational foundation called the Grand Circle Foundation, and it's been supporting projects and programs around the world for many years. This school of more than 650 students is one of those. It has numerous challenges in the local area's education of its children. Classes are generally overcrowded. This one has more than 70 students. School supplies and books are limited. We as OAT travelers are encouraged to share items such as educational books, crayons, pencils, drawing paper, and even soccer balls. While these items may seem small and limited, they are greatly appreciated by both students and faculty. But the highlight of any of these visits is the moments spent with the students themselves.
Hi, and how are you? Today starts a program just for you from the Salina Media Connection. People from the Salina community are getting together for a program where they'll be telling stories, dancing, singing, all kinds of fun stuff. And because it is just for you, we're calling it the Kids Connection. It's going to be on every morning at 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's about arts, health, wellness, and education. Like I said, lots of fun stuff you'll want to see. Again, it's on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. The Kids Connection, just for you. Come on, join in. I know you'll have fun.
Drummer Pete was keeping a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's one. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's two. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's three. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's four. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's five. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's six. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. A steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's seven. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. A steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's eight. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's nine. Pete asked one more to keep a beat, playing on a drum and having some fun. Steady beat is really sweet, you can do it when there's 10. Drummer Pete was feeling kinda weak, keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping a beat, 10 minus 1 leaves 9 on a beat. Drummer 2 was feeling kinda weak, keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping a beat, 9 minus 1 leaves 8 on a beat. Drummer 3 was feeling kinda weak, keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping a beat, 8 minus 1 leaves 7 on the beat. Drummer 4 was feeling kinda weak, keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping a beat, 7 minus 1 leaves 6 on the beat. Drummer 5 was feeling kinda weak, keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping a beat, 6 minus 1 leaves 5 on the beat. Drummer 6 was feeling kinda weak, keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping the beat. 5 minus 1 leaves 4 on the beat. Drummer 7 was feeling kinda weak. Keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping the beat. 4 minus 1 leaves 3 on the beat. Drummer 8 was feeling kinda weak. Keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping the beat. 3 minus 1 leaves 2 on the beat. Drummer 9 was feeling kinda weak. Keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping the beat. 2 minus 1 leaves 1 on the beat. Drummer 10 was feeling kinda weak. Keeping a beat has got him beat. He stopped playing and keeping the beat. 1 minus 1 leaves 0 on the beat.
Hi everyone, and welcome to this segment of Bringing the Zoo to You. My name is Devney. I'm the head keeper here at Rolling Hills Zoo, joining you here with Cody Miller and Zach Marks, and they are our kids country keepers here at the zoo, and they also take care of the camels. Now we have 2 camels that you might have met if you've been out to the zoo before. We have Carlos and Cleo. Zach, you want to tell us a little bit about them, how old they are?
How old is Carlos now? He's 13. Yeah. Cleo's 22 or something. She's in her 20s. We got Carlos when he was just a baby, and matter of fact, we hollered him and took him through the park, bring him here, and started him again on some halter work. But he's very, for bull camel, very good disposition. Cleo is too.
What's his favorite treat?
Well, he's really likes this nice green alfalfa. He likes carrots.
What about Cleo?
Same things.
I know Cleo has a fondness for pears. She definitely likes her pears, and she'll do a lot of work for that.
They love to rip bark off logs.
So today we want to kind of take you behind the scenes, let you guys meet our camels, and we're going to show you some training that we've been working on. So as Zach mentioned, we're going to do some halter training later on with our camel Carlos here. And this is something we've been working on for a little while. And we also have been doing some hoof work, vaccination training, and blood draw training with him. So you guys are going to see a little bit of that here in a little bit. And then for Cleo, we've also been doing a little bit of hoof work and block work with her, as well as vaccination and blood draw. So you guys are going to get to see that today. And we'll take you step by step through kind of what we've been doing. You'll see Carlos putting his foot up on a block and curling. This is something that we've been working on in slow kind of increments and approximations so that we can do elective hoof work from the outside safely. Since we can't always go in with Carlos, we have to kind of find another workaround to be able to do his feet. So Cody and I have kind of taken the reins on that, and we've been working on that. If he wants to tell you kind of how we started that process and how it's kind of been broken down.
Well, we really started training him probably a year and a half ago. It started just as desensitization training, target training. We got him to follow on cue, and then we really started to do footwork. A lot of these 2 have nails that tend to grow pretty long, especially in the summer, so we wanted to really be able to work with them and get their nails trimmed down as best we can. And then probably fall of last year, we really started to amp up our training for the footwork. We started to introduce a block so he can step up onto it, so there's a little bit more space to work and file his nails down. And here in just last month, we've had a lot more progress in him stepping up, holding, curling his foot so we can work the pad of his foot. And it's really come a long way in a short amount of time.
Kind of starting off, he started off doing a few behaviors. You mentioned targeting, and then also introducing a back command and a forward command and getting him comfortable kind of doing that back and forth.
Yeah, you will see when you see the training we do, I move him forward and backwards. We manipulate the step based on how he's moving forward and back. And then from there, he bumps it with his foot so he knows it's there, and then he'll actually step up onto it. Once he's onto it, I give him the command to hold, reinforce him with, I think we're using alfalfa cubes today. And then once he holds, Debbie will curl his foot, and then I'll tell him to hold again, and I'll just keep feeding him as long as he's holding. And that's been a long road to get him to that, but now that he's getting there, he's learning it very quick.
So we have had some successful vaccinations with both of these guys, where we can voluntarily just walk up and vaccinate them kind of in the chest. So you guys will see a little bit of that. You'll also see us kind of touching on their neck. That is a blood draw training that you'll see, where we'll call touch, he'll feed him, and then when he's comfortable, then you'll hear poke, and we'll poke. Right now we use a paper clip. Obviously for the real thing we would use a needle, but you'll see like a paper clip push into him, and once he's kind of done that, he'll get fed throughout, and as long as he's calm, he gets to participate. He can walk away at any time, so you can see he has the option to walk away. Cleo has the option to walk away. We use operant conditioning, so everything is choice for these animals. They choose to participate. If they don't want to participate that day, they don't have to. And we give them rewards if they do participate. And if they don't want to, then we don't do it that day. So they kind of get some treats, and we'll use what he was kind of referring to with the whistle. We call that a bridge. And that kind of just lets the animal know that they completed the behavior that we were asking them to do, so that they know that they've done it correctly. And then as we continue asking for that behavior, it lets that animal know that they've continued to do that behavior correctly, and then we can build on that. So starting off with the targeting, and then moving into a back and forward, getting him desensitized to the blocks, the paper clip for the needle and everything, so that when we did come down, getting other people around so that they're used to other people while we're doing a training session and they're not distracted. The halter training is something that will be eventually integrated potentially into the hoof work, so that's kind of something that they've been working on separately and kind of working to bridge together so that we can safely, with Carlos, kind of hold him in a position so that if we did need to do blood draws, that Zach has obviously a lot of control over where his head goes. So whoever is doing the actual blood draw is in a good potential space, and they don't have to worry about him coming around or invading their space. And then everything is always positive. So we only use positive reinforcement. We never use negative reinforcement. And that gives that animal that choice that's really important to us here. You guys have anything to add?
One last thing for our future goals. I talked about we introduced the block for him to step up onto, but eventually we also want to take radiographs from his foot being on that block. So hopefully here in the next couple months over the summer, we'll be able to introduce an actual radiograph machine and take x-rays of his feet.
You want to tell them what we've been using in the meantime to get set up for that?
We use a cardboard box with a rope on it.
And we kind of hold that.
We have, our vet staff got a new radiograph machine that's portable. So since they got that, they've really wanted to increase and step up our trainings for radiographs for feet. So that's one of the things we've been really working up to.
And he has put his foot successfully on the radiograph block, but we did kind of have a weight distribution issue with how heavy he is. So you want to tell them kind of why we've been using the block also, not just for the curling, but also for the radiographs?
Well, the block I had to remake because the first one he put his foot through. So he has a tendency when he puts his foot up on the block, at least early on in his training, he put all of his weight onto that block on one foot. So early, our first prototype, he put his foot through. So I remade it, and it's holding his weight now. But as you will see in the training video today, he's curling now. So he's progressed from putting his foot up onto it to curling, and he's not putting all of his weight onto it. So
and that's really, really important because we've never been able to see the bottom of their feet before. So that's something that's been really important to us to work towards, and getting him to release that. And he's actually starting to curl it himself without us even having to call and ask for it. So that's kind of been a new thing that we just landed on, and it's been tremendous for us and a huge point of success for us. And the halter training has gone amazing. Zach's done an incredible job with that, moving forward over the years and reintegrating that pretty seamlessly. and they've really taken to the training well. So if you guys have any comments for us or questions about the animals or how we're training or any of the things that we use for training, drop them in the comments below and we'll make sure we get back to you. And thanks for joining us. Bye.
Back up. Back. Good. Forward. Forward. Hold. Hold. Back up.
Girl. Good. Whistle. Good. Good.
Back up. Back. Forward. Forward.
Touch. Curl.
Hold.
Good. Whistle. Good job, Carlos.
Hold. Good. Back up. Back. Hold.
Touch. Curl.
Good. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. Right here. Hold.
Poke.
Right here.
Touch. Poke. Touch. Poke. Good boy. Good job. Touch. Poke. Good.
Yeah.
Touch.
Good.
Poke. Touch. Poke.
Back up. Back. Forward. Forward. Good girl.
I've done a lot of repetition because repetition builds confidence. Just taking the holder on and off, and I'm at the stage now. This cotton rope doesn't hurt him, and yet it gives him some guidance. And so I'm teaching him to stop and to move with it. And then we can put it all together, and he'll be able to manipulate his head and move him from point to point with that. That's about all there is to it.
And then when you were starting this behavior and getting him used to the halter, you were kind of desensitizing him?
Yeah, a lot of desensitization.
So can you kind of tell us
Just
about
a lot
what you
of,
did?
even just a lot of playing with his head, just a lot of going to mess with your ears. It's going to mess with your eyes. I don't want him running backwards every time I put my hand on his eyes and stuff. So just a lot of desensitization everywhere.
And then even though I was walking away with the food, he was still staying with Zach.
The halter goes on about every sensitive part of their body, so you really have to have them trusting you. I guess that's where the relationship comes in.
How long have you kind of been working on all this with him?
We've had him on halter before years ago. It's been probably 5 years ago.
And we started this back up, what, maybe a month ago? So it shows how smart they are.
Oh yeah, they're very smart. Yep. Let's do some repetition. Feel it and yet not fight it. Well, that big sharp pressure on the back of his head. Just the top. Yeah, about 5 steps the other way. Or walk down to where Cleo is. Or we'll just walk. Because I want him to know that he's here. Oh. I want him to stop. Maybe just like 3 close that way. Okay. Okay. Want him to get those toes. That's all I want to do with him.
Hope you're hanging in there. Coming up, some music with Ashley Wheeler and the kids.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for having us. Our last segment is going to be a song tribute to one of our favorite shows called Big City Greens.
Watch on Disney Channel.
And it features brother and sister Tilly and Cricket, featured here in the background.
Yep.
Cricket drawn by Fiona, and then Tilly over here by Rosalind. So we're going to go ahead and sing for you. and tomorrow do it all again. Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Rolling Hills Zoo's Bring the Zoo to You program. My name is Nick, I'm one of our columnist keepers, and we'll be talking about our college monkeys today. And as we get a good look at Rama, we're actually going to wrap things up. But I wanted to say thank you for everybody watching our Bring the Zoo to You videos. And if you have any questions about the Collis monkeys, please feel free to comment, and we will do our best to get back to you. Thanks.
So glad you could join us. Keep watching. There's lots more.
I am going to read the story of Molly and the Tornado. This is a beautiful story. It's powerful and it's comforting, meaning it makes you feel good, even though something not so good happens. Because even though bad things sometimes happen to us, we can always find hope and joy in helping others. This is Molly and the Tornado. It looks like bad weather might be headed our way, Molly, Mr. Hunter said excitedly. He reached down and gave Molly, who is a beautiful, beautiful pet, a pat on the head. Rex Hunter owned the local drugstore in town. It had an old-fashioned soda fountain and was home to a fat cat named Wilson. Wilson loved to lounge around on the counter. The last time anyone had seen Wilson running was when Molly chased him up and down the store aisles 2 years earlier. Since then, Molly has been forced to wait for her owner outside, but Mr. Hunter always comes to pet her. There are some people at the edge of Greensburg waiting for the storms, Mr. Hunter continued. He was talking to Molly. He pointed off into the distance. They're known as storm spotters. For a small town, these storms can certainly add a lot of excitement. Be safe, Rex, Max said as he walked out of the store. I put the change for the newspaper on your counter. Matt was Molly's owner. He grew up in the town of Greensburg and had known Rex Hunter for all of his life. In such a small town, everyone knows all their neighbors and considers each one like family. That evening, Matt turned on the television and Molly settled into her bed. It was time for her favorite show. However, the television was showing something else. It was a man standing in front of a large map. "It's the weatherman," Matt said. "There's a major storm coming," said the weatherman. His name was Freeman. Molly was upset that she couldn't watch her show. She was about to bark, but she noticed that Matt had a concerned look on his face. Perhaps her show wasn't as important as what this weatherman had to say. As the evening went on, the weatherman broke in more and more. Each time he got more excited, and Matt got more worried. Molly gave up trying to watch her favorite show, and instead she settled in to sleep. At 9:40, a loud siren rang out. Molly jumped out of her bed. It was a tornado siren. Matt was already busy putting some items into a bag. "Come on, Molly," Matt said. "Let's head to the neighbor's house. His basement is tornado-proof, and we'll be safe." When they arrived at the basement was already filled with people and other pets. In total, there were 11 people, 3 dogs, a parakeet, and 4 turtles. It was enough people for a party, thought Molly, but no one looked like they felt like celebrating. Everyone had concerned looks on their face. The tornado was very loud and windy. You could hear clangs and booms, and the debris flew against the house. Everyone held hands and huddled together. Each time there was a loud noise, people would squeeze their hands tighter. The wind and noise lasted for about 8.5 minutes, but it seemed longer for Molly. During that time, the people in the basement were very brave. Sometimes they said a prayer or hummed songs. Molly realized that the animals were nervous too and decided to howl a soft song for them. Even the turtles popped their heads out of their shells to listen to Molly's soothing song. "It's over," Matt sighed. There was a great sense of relief in the room. "Molly, you stay here with the others. I'm going to have a look around outside." Matt pushed on the basement door. A tree branch had fallen and blocked it. A few other neighbors came over to help. By working together, they managed to push the door open and get to the outside. The tornado had demolished everything. Homes were destroyed, and trees were laying on the ground. Matt and other neighbors made sure that no one was calling for help, and then returned to the basement. After waiting a few hours, Molly's ear perked up. She thought she heard some noises outside. It sounded like some people and a vehicle. She climbed to the top of the basement and started to bark. A rescue worker heard Molly and immediately ran over. Everyone came out of the basement and boarded a school bus. Molly had never ridden on a school bus before, and she wondered where it was headed. The school bus arrived at a high school in a nearby town, 10 miles away. The rescue workers had converted the school gym into a shelter. It was filled with food, water, beds, and a lot of people and animals. Molly walked around and saw a lot of sad faces. The people of Greensburg had lost their houses and everything they owned. Molly knew what this felt like because she lost her home and her favorite toys as well. She greeted each person with a gentle nuzzle. Everyone gave her a pat on the head and a soft smile. As she continued to walk around the shelter, she noticed Mr. Hunter. "Molly, I'm glad you're all right. That was quite a tornado," Mr. Hunter said, as Molly put her head on his lap. "I lost my whole store. the old soda fountain too, but I still have Wilson. Molly noticed the orange cat sitting next to him. Wilson wasn't hissing this time, and Molly wasn't about to chase him. This was a time to be together. Well, I can always rebuild the store, and people can rebuild their homes, Mr. Hunter continued. The important thing is that I see a lot of familiar faces here that are safe. It was 3 more days until they could return to town. A few more storms had passed through the area, but not as bad as that tornado. Everyone was eager to get back to start rebuilding their home and their future. Once they did return to Greensburg, they found out that they were not alone. Volunteers from all over came to help clean up the mess and rebuild homes. Some of the volunteers had been in tornadoes, and some had even been in floods. Matt worked with the volunteers every day until the town was rebuilt. Molly decided that she wanted to help too. Molly worked for Dr. Dorman at the vet clinic and helped reunite people with their lost animals. Mrs. Peggy was overjoyed to see her rabbit. Mr. Harris gave his poodle a big hug and some treats. Once all of the animals were back with their owners, Molly went to work with Matt. She greeted all the new volunteers. Over 14,000 people arrived during a span of 2.5 years. They all said the same thing. When disaster struck our community, people came to help us. So we are paying it forward. Houses were rebuilt and toys were replaced. Even the old soda fountain was working again, but in a new location. Molly was very thankful for all of the volunteers who came to help. She thought about what it meant to pay it forward. Matt told her it means when someone does something nice for you, that you do something nice for someone else. Molly decided she wanted to help others and began traveling around the world with Matt. Anytime a community faces a disaster, Molly and Matt are there to help. That's Molly's story. And Greensburg is a real town in Kansas.
Smile left, smile right, smile all around. Smile left, smile right, smile all around. Be happy and spread your smile around. Wave left, wave right, wave all around. Wave left, wave right, wave all around. Be happy and spread your smile around. A happy smile can spread from me to you. Help someone feel like they are brand new. Snap left, snap right, snap all around. Snap left, snap right, snap all around. Be happy and spread your smile around. Jump left, jump right, jump all around. Jump left, jump right, jump all around. Be happy and spread your smile around. A happy smile can spread from me to you. someone feel like they are brand new. Look left, look right, look at all of your friends. Look left, look right, look at all of your friends. Be happy and spread your smile around. Clap left, clap right, clap for all of your friends. Clap left, clap right, clap for all of your friends. Be happy and spread your smile around. A happy smile can spread from me to you. Help someone feel like they are brand new. Be happy and spread your smile around.
Hi, friends. This is Bartholomew Bullfrog from the banks of the Smoky Hill River. My friend, Mr. Great Blue Heron, asked if I could help him out. See, Mr. Heron is very shy and doesn't like to talk in front of new people, so he asked if I could narrate some video he recorded. It shows what he likes to do during this time of social distancing. He recorded it at Lakewood Park. Did you know that Lakewood Park nestles right up to the Smoky Hill River channel? Ha! And someday, when the river work is done, the Smoky Hill River will once again flow right by Lakewood Park? Ha! So cool! Okay. So, in Mr. Great Blue Heron's first clip, you're going to see Mr. Heron looking for a light snack of bugs in the grass. Herons eat almost anything they can get in their mouths, from big fish to small bugs and everything in between. Kind of like me, but my mouth isn't quite so big. So let's check in with Mr. Heron. Yum! I love bugs too. I wonder what kind he had. Oh, okay. In the next clip, Heron wanted to show you where he likes to nap. Herons nest in trees and along the riverbank. Well, this isn't his main nest, but he does like to take breaks here. Let's see. Looks rather cozy for a heron. All right, in the next clip, Mr. Heron said he was watching the wildlife, especially some teeny fish that caught his attention. Let's see. So adorable and tasty. But hold up. Did you see the minnow in the lower left-hand corner jump over that stick? And then the one behind it? Ha! Okay, I'm going to show you again. Just watch. So in this next one, Mr. Heron is hanging out and doing some preening. Mr. Heron said while he was preening, another heron flew by. He said he was checking to see if it was sticking around. Herons fiercely defend their territory from intruders. Looks like the other heron moved on. Well, the last clip Mr. Heron wants to leave with us is him sitting by the lake, enjoying this evening sunshine. That was nice. I like to do that too. I just, to just sit and enjoy the sounds and the sights of water. So nice. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Great Blue Heron, for sharing a bit of your world with us. With all this keeping away from each other, it's important to remember to do things you like, just to renew yourself. How about you? You out there? What simple things do you like to do? Well, I guess that's it for today. On behalf of Mr. Great Blue Heron and myself, thanks for watching. This is Bartholomew Bullfrog from the banks of the Smoky Hill River. Bye!
It's just a feeling of freedom. I mean, you don't have any restriction. You don't have big crowds. You can hear the meadowlark. You can, enjoy the prairie. And there's about, I don't know how many species of wildflowers out here. It's just a place you can relax and not have to worry about all of the problems of the world.
First time I saw it, it just kind of takes your breath away. I walked out onto one of those points and I just couldn't believe that there was a place like this right here. It really has been kind of a hidden treasure. The reason that we call it Little Jerusalem is that that's really what most of the local people call it. It's just kind of that colloquial name.
In the morning, when the sun's rising, or in the evening at sunset, and the sun hits these bluffs, it looks like the walled city of Jerusalem. And I think that's where they came up with the name.
Kansas has very little public land. Only about 2 to 3% of the land mass in Kansas is publicly owned. We are an increasingly urban society, and as more people become disconnected from the land, the more people lose that basic understanding that everything that we have comes from the land. And so conservation becomes really difficult in that scenario. Little Jerusalem is a formation of Niobrara chalk. It was deposited here when this was part of the massive western interior seaway. Really what makes this unique in Kansas is that it's over 200 acres of really tall columns, cliffs that rise up 150, 200 feet.
In 1895, over on 12 Mile, there was a fellow by the name of Charlie Wood, and he came up on this bluff, and there were some bones sticking out. In one of those buffalo bones, they found an arrow point. And so that was the first time in American history that showed that the Indians were here prior to what they were ever thought of being here.
Buffalo Bill Cody actually earned his name not too far from here. Wild Bill Hickok, General Custer, John C. Fremont, they all use this part of the Smoky Hill Trail. It's just kind of been a local landmark, for early settlers and explorers, and it's just remained a kind of an iconic place for western Kansas.
We find a lot of fossils of shark's teeth.
Giant clams that are 2 to 3 foot diameter, usually encrusted with oysters. There's, fossils of all kinds.
I guess I grew up thinking it was mine from day one and just never looked back. I inherited it after my father passed away in December. Favorite memories was going up here, riding horses, being chased by Kyle a couple times. Used to have a lot of caves on this property. Not knowing any better, we'd crawl inside those caves, not knowing what was inside there sometimes. Most of it was some type of animal living in there, but you never knew. Hopefully we can get a bit around a snake. We would, my brother and I would take like a bigger, always some bigger bluffs over this flat, and we'd just take old blankets, lay down, and that's where you spent the night.
The prairie in this area helps feed a growing population of people all over the world. And so conservation is vital to maintaining the productivity of the land for our own sake, just for people's sake, but also, there's plant and animal communities that have, depend on those same lands for thousands of years. And if conservation isn't good for the ranchers, and if it isn't good for people, then it's just not going to last, and it's going to go to some other less sustainable use. So when you think about stewarding this land, it's really, in Kansas, it's ranchers. They are the ones that steward the vast majority of the last wild places. In that way, conservation and agriculture are really inseparable. They're part of the same thing, and they're part of the solution to keeping these places intact.
When we fail to respect nature and kill off species, or just because of greed destroy the landscape, that feeling of connectivity is lost.
If you don't get out and really move through and walk through and see these things and experience them, then you're just not going to have that ethic. How can a kid go to a place like this and see it and explore it and not be excited about it? And how can that not stick with them for the rest of their lives? And it's hard, in a state like Kansas, for the average person to get to a spot like that. And so that's why, a place like this, I think, can be really important.
Life is about sharing. I just think you need to be part of the community, make things available, open it up to the public, and everybody gets to see the beauty.
They wanted to have, opportunities for public access, but they also wanted to make sure that these really fragile features were conserved over time. We just don't take that responsibility lightly. It's not an easy balance to find, but we're going to take the time we need to do the best we can to find that balance.
It was kind of a feeling of amazement. You never knew what canyon you were going to turn, what you were going to see. It was just a sense of excitement, and it was just fun to be out here. There were no restrictions. You could run and just be free.
I just hope they come and the ones that's able to hike through it, enjoy the scenery and look at the fossils on the hill, and just enjoy the natural beauty.
We have the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and they're never the same. And if you have a huge thunderhead off to the east, this big white growing cloud, and you have the sun setting and the red glow, it's just absolutely stunning. I don't think I would trade this area just because of that.
Yeah, I might actually get a little emotional on that. But to know that my grandchildren's great-grandchildren can come to this place and probably experience it just like I can today, that's a legacy kind of thing.
the things that happen in your mind, so be kind. Ooh, be kind. You can't rewind. Be kind. You can't rewind. Can't erase the things that happen in your mind, so be kind. You can't rewind. Can't erase the things that happen in your mind, so be kind.
Thank you for watching Kids Connection. Make sure to watch it next time.
William Burchell, a 19th century African explorer, wrote that nothing but breathing the air of Africa and actually walking through it can communicate the indescribable sensations. That's exactly how Betty and I feel about that mysterious continent of people, cultures, animals, and scenery. We've been to Africa twice with Oat. First with their Ultimate Africa of Zimbabwe, Botswana, Zambia, and South Africa. And this second visit called Safari Serengeti. For me, this adventure was to be different.